Hi, and welcome to your 3-Minute Daily. I'm your host, Rob Bob. Today we're going to talk about why American banks are about to be engulfed by the biggest scandal in financial history. This will largely depend on how closely you, the public, pays attention. If you are paying attention, the game as it's currently being played is finished. This is an off-the-scale scandal. This is one of those lock 'em up and throw away the key type events. Last week, Barclays Bank was fined $450 million for manipulating LIBOR, the London Interbanking Offered Rate. This is the rate through which banks lend. The slightest deviation in the rate can cost a bank billions. LIBOR, which serves as the benchmark for rates on trillions of dollars in loans worldwide, is composed of daily submissions from a group of leading banks, which report their estimated costs of borrowing from each other. The scandal centers in part on banks during the early years of the financial crisis, understating those costs in order to disguise their mounting financial distress. The Wall Street Journal is calculating that LIBOR affects $800 trillion worth of contracts. Traders in the main financial markets of London, New York, and Japan colluded to set the interbank rate, thus making either huge profits or covering up huge losses. Investigators in the United States, Europe, and Japan are examining more than a dozen big banks over suspected rigging of the LIBOR. The CFTC, the U.S. watchdog Commodity Futures Trading Commission, said it wasn't just Barclays traders who were involved in the market manipulation, but the bank's top bosses. If the biggest banking institutions knew about and were involved with manipulating LIBOR, then the government overseeing them also knew about it and were involved. Guaranteed. If anything, it was the savers that were hurt the most by the banks colluding to artificially push down LIBOR. That's because if the banks had been truthful about what they were paying each other, they may have been tempted to pay depositors more for their money as well. Central banks, too, wouldn't have rushed to cut rates in that scenario, and instead focused on direct capital support for banks. These large banks have stolen from every single human being on the planet. No one was left out. Not one person. Not even you. Now that it is exposed, there's no going back. You should take a few minutes and investigate this. Go to your start page and put in LIBOR Scandal, and you will find lots of articles on this. You need to educate yourself and understand why your freedom is being stolen from you by the bankers. If they think they can get away with this, they will think they can get away with anything. You are a slave to fractional banking. You need to understand how this works, how it affects you. Take a few minutes, investigate. That's your 3-Minute Daily for today. I'm your host, Rob Bob. See you next time.